Game Freak considered moving away from turn-based battles in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Also thought about changing the number of moves. Very big changes considered, but shelved. So they actually didn't move away from it, but they thought about it. So the article says Pokemon Sword and Shield certainly changed up some traditional aspects of the franchise, but it turns out even more radical changes were considered during development. Game Informer spoke to Game Freak planning director Kazumasa. That he has a name. He said the team was considering moving away from the traditional turn-based gameplay, but didn't elaborate on what mechanics they might have swapped in. Furthermore, he said the team also thought about changing the number of moves that Pokemon could use, but decided against this due to balancing concerns. You can see there's some elaboration on the blurb below. If you make it 5 or even more than 5, that makes it a lot. So a lot of the Pokemon can really do anything, and it becomes a lot harder to read what your opponent might do because there are just that many more possibilities of moves they could use. I think that hurts the balance of the gameplay quite a bit. At the same time, even if you reduce it by 1 to 3, you really start seeing there are haves and have-nots in the Pokemon world. Like, these Pokemon are obviously way stronger than the rest of these Pokemon. We came back and finding that 4 is the right number for the current battle system, but it is something we revisit. So they didn't change it because this is going to be balancing problems, I guess. So
do you think the ideas
is interesting
they had to change? They just put those ideas in Little Town, or what was the name of it?
Little Town, Small Town Hero, Little Town Hero, something like that.
Yeah,
something like
but
that.
Possibly. I mean, change is always good. I'm fine with changing up, shaking things up a bit. You know.
What if they made a Pokemon game where you rode around on like an ATV thing and you just threw apples at Pokemon and took their picture?
That would never sell.
No,
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
What would they call it? Pokemon Geographic?
Maybe.
Pokemon
like Railroad Crossing?
Railroad Crossing.
Actually, now
They should make an HD version and put it on the Switch.
Pokemon Last Level's the Moon.
That's it. That's the one. And I guess I'll just jump right into the other piece of Pokemon news. Also from GoNintendo.com. Do you guys see the live stream? How long was it? 24 live stream?
I did not watch. Only saw the memes.
20 seconds. Ish.
Someone, RMFH edited in. This isn't part of the news. I just thought I'd tell you. RMFH, Rick, my friend, he posted on Twitter, I think, someone edited, maybe it was him, a Korok into that scene. So there's like the 4th scene and then like a rock moved and it's just and
I kept seeing ones with the goose.
That's the one I keep seeing.
Yes.
That's the one I keep seeing.
So many.
I love that game.
Press Y to honk, my friends. But anyways, we saw some new Pokemon during that stream.
Can you pronounce all the Pokemon names? This will be a test.
Probably. Okay. But yeah, Go Nintendo has an article titled Recapping the Pokemon that showed up during Sword and Shield Glimwood Tangle Forest livestream. So there's some old friends and some new friends, including some new variants of old friends. So Nintendo ran a 24-hour live stream to showcase the Glimwood Tangle Forest at Pokemon Sword and Shield. I highly doubt that's in-game footage. I really doubt it. In the forest, all sorts of Pokemon were seen scurrying about, some old favorites and others completely new. So we got Pikachu, Morelol, Swirlix, a mysterious tail was shown, Phantump, Impidimp, some other unidentified Pokemo. The article actually says Pokemo instead of Pokemon. Cottony, a Galarian form of Ponyta.
Wait, so Cottony? Cottony, whenever it was on the screen, because the forest already had all the sparkles and stuff that are like moving around. It literally just looked like one of those because it was so far off and it's already so tiny that it just looked like one of the things, and people were like zooming in on it, and I'm like, you can't. That just looks like a circle.
That is a circle. Enhance. Yeah. But anyways, and yeah, there was a Galarian form of Ponyta, which looked really neat. It had some like rainbow stuff happening.
People said it looked like cotton candy.
And this last one, it looked like cotton candy. And Shinotic, who I don't know if I say that right. Shinotic.
That almost sounds like a bad word.
Oh no.
Yeah. They could get in trouble
oof.
where some Pokemon will
Pokemans?
say certain syllables of their name, or like they'll mix up, like Pikachu, instead of saying like Pikachu, sometimes it'll say like Pichu, and it'll like cut up the syllables. If that Pokemon did it, it would be saying a bad word.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That's bad. Game Freak, we're canceling Pokemon Sword and Shield because
Big oof.
I honestly thought they were going. I don't really think it would count as a troll, but I thought the giant mushrooms that were glowing every time something would get near it. At the very end of the stream, everyone's like, "We watched the whole time and like there was nothing there," but then like the mushrooms just jump up at the end and run around like the entire time. The mushrooms were also Pokemon, which is why they were glowing and stuff.
I thought those were Stamella shrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, could have been.
Yeah, and there's a Zap shroom in the bottom right as well. I'm waiting for someone to edit link pick up. Just no. Okay.
It's so meme worthy though. So many things you can just insert.
Do you think they'll do something similar with a different location?
I hope not. This was already kind of obnoxious of them.
They're trying really hard right now.
They are. Like, come on, guys. We're already gonna buy it, okay? Just
Wait, when does it
relax.
release? November
15th?
Something.
15th, something like that. It's right before my son's birthday. So.
I think it's the same day I have a choir concert.
Wait, you and your kid are born like really close together, aren't you?
Yeah, we're both in November.
Wow.
So you remember, like, well, Pokemon Let's Go came out like a couple days before his birthday last year. So
Yeah, I remember because you guys came by.
birthday.
I gave him a Pokemon hat.
Yeah, he still
Nice.
has it.
Daniel.
Surprised he's kept that hat for almost a year. It's a cardboard Pikachu hat.
Do you remember when
Favorite friend.
they first
yeah.
showed off Sword and Shield, and we were talking about something about what we thought the new thing in this game would be?
It would be
And-
swords.
Yeah, we talked about it being like armored Pokemon,
Oh yes.
and then
Yeah,
the next day they trademarked armored Mewtwo and armored other Pokemon.
Yeah, there was Armored Mewtwo, Charizard.
And then they showed
There was a few
the
others
one.
too.
I don't like that the one Pokemon holds the sword in his mouth while the other
Right?
Pokemon is the shield. Like, I feel like...
He is the shield. It's true.
Yeah.
Also, you shouldn't have your face in the middle of a shield. That's a bad idea. The shield is you.
Defeats the purpose.
So I think...
What is
We
happening over here?
We have more super chats.
Oh,
Oh, we do. Whoa, Laurelian sheep again. My goodness. Happy birthday, man. My Little Ponytail. Far-fetched evolution. Smiles are contagious. They are. Yo, the far-fetched
And
evolution is
Mighty
hilarious.
Page Unbinder. Do you have a question, Mighty Page?
yeah, you didn't say anything with that.
You can ask a question.
Yield $5. That is a question pass.
Muted
Absolutely.
Keys 199 says sub to Jesse, or else Pokemon Sword won't come out. That's right, it'll only be Shield.
It's true.
Yeah, that means
Only Shield.
you'll only get one exclusive.
Only one doggo.
Yeah. No, so I was watching a video, and it was talking about the third, what the third legendary could be.
Done.
And it said it was talking
It's
about
gone.
no, it was talking about like a bird type Pokemon that would have something to do with arrows or whatever.
That's how I was thinking, archery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Or maybe a spear.
the two Pokemon are like fighting each other at the end of the one trailer, but then they look up at something flying over and you see the shadow. And if something's already flying in the air, then it was just a Pidgey.
Sorry.
It's just
I just got an image in my head of a literal bow and arrow where the arrow part is its beak, and there's just these giant eyes on the bone.
Pokemon
And the thing
abuse.
is, Game Freak would do that.
They would.
Yeah, they have
would.
Surf Fetched, who already looks really weird.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wait, what was
Oh
it? Like, if a... They gave details about it, like if Surf Fetched's onion thing breaks,
He
like,
dies.
something... he doesn't die, but he basically gets so depressed that he wants to die.
Oh my gosh.
Aw.
No.
Like, they
I'll give him my leak.
like they are prideful and courageous and
Doesn't it like
everything.
decompose though? Like it's vegetable.
I don't know.
I don't know
We
either.
have to tune in to the anime to find out, right?
Or is the anime canceled? Ash finally won the league.
No,
that's
'cause
what I was wondering.
Anime is over.
He won the Orange Islands, and everyone forgets about that.
That's not the league though.
Well,
Yeah.
there was a
It's not the
league
league.
thing in it,
I don't know what to tell you, Jesse.
and
I
then
never watched the.
but like people,
Anime.
the thing is, like, people always say like the Orange Islands aren't canon to the anime, but it's like the Orange Islands is where that's where he left his Charizard, which
Yeah.
comes back almost every single season to fight. Like every time Ash has to fight like an Articuno or another legendary Pokemon, his Charizard just magically shows up.
It's
And it's like-
kid.
Yeah, and it's
God
like
damn it.
if he left his
What are you doing?
if the Orange Islands weren't canon, then his Charizard would have just been deleted from history because it wouldn't be canon. So
Wait, why did he leave his Charizard? No, we're getting
'Cause
off
it was-
topic.
Training.
he thought, like, everyone thought Ash's Charizard was like super cool and giant and like really strong and stuff. And then Ash came across like this one place that was filled with Charizards, and his was the smallest and weakest, so he left it there to train.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
You watch a lot of Pokemon?
Well, I remember that from a long time ago. Lately, I've been watching a bunch of the newer stuff because Layla has been watching it, and then that got me interested again. And we watched
Good
through
excuse.
the X and Y stuff until the last English dub of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, which is weird if you actually watch the anime, because used to it would be like, oh, I lost the Pokemon League in this town. Let me go to this town and try this Pokemon League. But in like X and Y, it went from the season ending with the Pokemon League to the season ending with Ash and his friends literally saving the world. And then in Sun and Moon, or Ultra Sun and Moon, like the very next episode after, again, they literally save the world, it's like everyone just forgets that he did that. And then in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon again, he doesn't just save the world, he saves the entire universe. And then he just goes on to do the Pokemon League like nothing happened. And I'm like, does
He's got
no
his
one...
priorities straight.
Yeah.
He's 10. He probably doesn't understand what happened.
Yeah. It's just so weird because it's
Well,
like
he's been 10 for like
he's
10
saving
years.
He's saving the world. There was the Pokemon, the original voice actor for Ash was interviewed about Ash winning, and she was asked about all of the fan romance between Ash and Misty, and she's like, no, they're like 10 years old. Why would they care about that? And I'm like, that
True.
makes sense.
Misty at least would, maybe, but in a very juvenile crush sort of way.
Yeah.
At least that's how the other 10-year-old girls I grew up with were. The boys didn't care, and the girls were all like, what? It was stupid.
I want a gif of you doing that.
What?
Because your eyes went like cross-eyed too for everything.
Well, y'all know I can do the pendulum swing thing with my eyes.
Oh, I need a gif of that too.
After watching,
Someone was like,
forever.
Someone was like, get a clip of me doing the bow and arrow prediction of the bird. That's all I could picture. Just a bird and arrow.
A bird and arrow.
A barrel.
Yeah.
A bird and arrow.
Do a barrel roll.
This arrow. It's when you have a bow and then you have an arrow, but the arrow is like really heavy, and it emotionally, wears on you. It's a burden arrow. It's like, oh, sorry.
Right. Before we move on,
Jesse just moves.
No. But before we move on, for like an actual discussion thing for this, so we can say we attempted something. Since they are introducing different variations of Pokemon, like there was the Alola forms, now there's the Galarian forms, whatever they're called. It's a hard word to say. What Pokemon would you guys like a different form of, and what type of form would that be?
I don't care, just give me more evolutions. Give me more Eevee. That's all I want.
Look up Loxton Noggins why we don't have more evolutions.
But then I'll be convinced and then I'll be sad.
Well, it's just a theory.
I don't know.
I just thought it was interesting.
I
think I've seen that. About because they're like different typings or whatever. Like they're not special typings. They're like
it was stuff I didn't understand
left.
because I don't play enough Pokemon, but I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
He theorized that instead of getting more evolutions, they would introduce another Eevee-like Pokemon that would have a bunch of different evolutions. That would be like a lizard type thing instead of a furry thing. And then it would have the dragon evolution or the steel evolution or whatever. So,
what do I want in Galarian for?
The one that I would hate is an evolution for like ground or rock. And then like if you invite it in your house, it just gets dirt all over the floor. Like its fur its fur just keeps tracking dirt everywhere because it's a ground type Pokemon.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm not.
That reminds me of actually Wally, like that little like cleaning robot that would clean up after Wally ever he went. That would be me if I had a yeah.
He was always so frustrated, the poor guy.
Yeah. Give us a bug type evolution. That's gross.
It would be
yucky.
Like Butterfree's cute,
it's like Eevee's
but I don't like many bug types.
Like 8 eyes and like 10 legs, and
it's like huge mandibles.
Turns it into an arachnid.
Butterfree would Butterfree would be terrifying in real life because it's like a 6 feet.
Okay, true. Because butterflies are pretty because all you can see are their wings, and then you look close up and you're like, no.
Like, oh my.
Yep.
How about not? Just trying to think. I'm just gonna say Bayleaf.
Oh.
No particular reason other than it's one of the voices I'm trying to be able to do. I've been trying to mimic Pokemon voices, and Bayleaf's one of them, so I'm like, Galarian Bayleaf.
What about a new Vulpix? Because we now have a normal
Vulpix. That's true.
And a little Vulpix goes from fire to ice type. So what if we get like a, I don't know, electric type Vulpix?
Yeah.
Or something cool like that.
I thought of a Galarian, not necessarily a Galarian version, but if they had like an armored Alakazam, but like its weapons is just the spoons. And then like there was
they're changed to like those gardening shovels.
And there was what was it? It was like a random fact about Alakazam that if they really like their trainer, they will let their trainer hold their spoons.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's intimate.
Let them eat off the spoon.
So like if you're walking like if you're walking around with your Alakazam, like he would just be holding one spoon and you would be holding the other spoon. So it's just a weird fact. And then there's the memes of like the ice cream Pokemon and then Alakazam with his 2 spoons, and it's like it's not.
No. He's gonna eat him.
Yeah.
Pokemon fandom is wild.
And then now there's the
Yes.
cake Pokemon that is supposed to have like really super delicious cream.
Mighty Page Unbiter says, I want Voltorb with legs.
Ew. That's isn't that like
Why?
What that?
what's his name? Mulgora in Skyward
Mulgara?
Sword. You throw the bomb in his mouth.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
It's like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
basically like a
it.
fiery Graveler in Pokemon.
Uncomfortable.
Yep.
I mean, there's
peanut
literal
butter off
garbage
Alakazam.
Pokemon, so
More
It's
edible
also
Pokemon.
literally
I'm
a
thinking.
bong Pokemon, so
And a
we're
keychain.
just going downhill.
Gardevoir.
we have the
It's like a-
alphabet.
Oh my gosh.
Gardevoir. That's the plant
eating
Pokemon.
peanut butter off Alakazam spoon.
A gluten-free Pokemon.
Oh my.
Yeah. So who hasn't said one yet?
Wait, what were we even saying?
Galarian
Dude,
form
what-
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Give us a Galarian.
I
What
would
you
go. I would go with almost like Daniel. Either a Ninetales because I think they look really cool with like all the different tails, or a
All 9 of them.
evolution of Eevee that would be Ghost
Not
type.
bug.
No, Ghost type.
Ghost type.
Yeah.
That could actually be cute. It could look like the dog from Zero from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or like if it's a Ninetales, it would be like I don't know, like purple-ish, like Haunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's my thought. Plant psychic
Hmm.
that could summon black holes. Yeah, it's Gardevoir. That's the one. There's apparently a plant that can cause tiny black holes with its chest.
Makes sense.
All right.
Or
That
its
sounds
ass or something.
sounds legit.
Pokemon.
The only thing I could think of is that you got me on the evolution thing, and I would love to see a fighting type. Just like a really big,
He
beefy.
just stands up on his hind legs. And
There
Yeah,
was-
just
Wants
ready
to
to
fight
fight
you.
like a kangaroo. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
There was artwork of one that had its ears coming down into like little fists.
No. I don't want that.
What?
No, not his
Why?
ears. Not his ears.
That's so funny.
Has everybody went?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
it.
cool.
Yeah.
All we got.
Is that
Sorry if you can hear someone doing dishes in the background.
do we do the
Is
Zelda
it-
thing?
A clone of yourself? Alright, what's the Zelda thing?
I mean, there's not really like that.
Ooh, you know what? I think you got Jorge's calling you out in the chat. Scaldera, not Mulgara.
Ooh,
Oh.
get
Mulgara was the
wrecked.
boss, I think, in Wind Waker.
Well, earlier
Maybe.
he says
Scaldera.
Moldora, and then he says Scaldora. So why did he say Moldora earlier?
Maybe he was wrong, and then he. I don't know. Who is? Which one's Mulgara? I think that's Wind Waker. Mulgara. I'm gonna Google it. Yeah, Wind Waker was Mulgara, the giant sandworm. Scaldera.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
both got it wrong the first time.
Scaldera is the one in. Oh, he's so ugly. I don't like that boss that much. Okay, sorry. Thanks, Jorge.
So
Got
do you guys want to do the Zelda thing? Because it would
Yeah,
Do
be
you want to go into the discussion now?
there wasn't a discussion. It was just questions. The discussion
Oh.
was left over from a previous podcast.
Yeah, well, we might as well do the Zelda thing and then jump into questions.
CC.
All right.
Oh, no, she's not here. CC is
She-
her own channels.
So quick to that too. I was like, did I miss something? Did I zone out again? I'm so confused.
Sorry.
Do one of you want to
I'm
do the
sorry.
Zelda thing?
My goodness. Who?
Anyone?
Ooh.
If
Am
you
I
want.
you?
If you
Okay.
see.
All right. So